When I turn it back on, the water heater won't come on. I'll have to come back here, turn that switch off, wait 30 seconds, and then turn it back on at this switch. So that means if you're taking a shower and someone hits that switch, you're going to have to wait and recycle the system to get hot water. Now, speaking of recycling, this has a water saver shower. You swing the valve cold or hot, pull it out to turn the water on. When you're using the hot water, you can switch this valve and the water will stop coming out here and it'll pump back to your fresh water tank. This little blue button here, if you're running hot water through this, it will start to turn white. It's more of a light blue than it is white, but they tell you it turns white so that you can see that you're still getting hot water through there. So if you're on tank water and you want to warm the shower up, you flip this on, turn it on, hit the valve, and we're running it. And right now, we are running water back from the tank, back to the tank. And when that little white button, I just turn the water heater back on, but when we start getting hot water through there, that button will slowly go from dark blue to lighter colored. And it's going to take a couple minutes or so. So, at some point in here, we switch to another video because I see my timer reset. So we are now in another video. So at some point that video ended and then this one started. That's why I was letting you know that this is going to be a multiple segment video. But if you can see the water temperatures coming up, the center of that button is starting to get lighter in color. When it's up to full temperature, it will be nearly white, more of a light pale blue. At that point, you can flip this valve and get hot water on your shower. If you want to pause your shower, flip the valve back. Okay? And there you go. So anyways, it's a multi-position valve. Travel lock, you swing this little tab up to prevent the shower door from swinging out while you're driving. You have storage under the bed. I think. There we go. So you can put some small stuff in there. Do not put anything in this center section because that mechanism comes through there. Down here is your 110 breakers. Over here on the side, behind this panel, is your precision plex controller. There's a map. Excuse me. Put my finger over the left. There's a map on the door that tells you what all the fuses are for. This is pretty cool because there's a monitor screen. Tap the button, comes on. I don't know how well you can see that on video, but it tells you our precision circuit stuff. Press the button again. We have a list. Fuse status. We can check all of our fuses. Push the button, and we can go right down the list and check every fuse here. Input monitor, that tells us what our switches are. Switch panel lights. We can set the amount of light on those push button switches. Wireless pairing, model name, and manual control. Manual control, I can run my slide outs in and out from here if those switches were to fail. Okay. There's also other things that can be done in this in diagnostic modes. I try not to go into that too much with a customer. Number one, you're not going to remember it when you finally need it. And when you need it, I really would rather have you talking to someone like me or someone at Precision Circuits to walk you through it, because it can be... Let me pause. Okay, sorry. It was just simpler to pause than fumble with everything. It can be kind of confusing to go through all that. So it's nice to have someone on the phone to walk you through it. All your shades in the coach are pulled down and then give them a tug to retract. So you pull them down to use them. You give them a little tug, let go of them. You have reading lights above the bed here. If you're laying down, you have a light panel up there. Turn the reading lights on. Now the reading lights, when they're on, have switches on the light. So they're touch on each side. You have a master light, generator start and stop, 2 reading lights, and your bedroom light switches right above your bed here. Also, there's a temperature sensor for this heating and cooling zone. I'm sure that probably looks stupid because I realized that while I was holding the tablet that it went upside down. Your bathroom, half bath, foot flush toilet. Step down part way to add water. Step all the way down to flush. Let your foot snap off from it when you're done. Storage under the sink. Storage above the sink. Light switches on the wall. Your fan controls, open and close, and your fan for your vent are all on the wall there. Your booth dinette will make into a bed. There's a lever underneath here. You flip the lever and you can push the, oops, it's the wrong way. Flip the lever and you can push the tabletop down. When you push it all the way down, you have to remove these cushions. The tabletop will sit on these 2 ledges, lay the cushions across, and it becomes a bed. There is storage under there. Lift the cushions up. There's removable panels to get you access to the storage. Fireplace and your main TV. Storage above the dinette, all the way across. It's one big storage area with 3 drawers. Your TV here is on a televator that's controlled from the other seat. Up here you have connections for cable. You have your matrix. Your matrix has 4 HDMI inputs. Any input can be sent to any TV. It's labeled up here, the customer did, living room, bedroom, fireplace, and exterior. And then you have a Blu-ray player, remotes, JBL soundbar, storage cabinet on each side, and another storage cabinet over here. This bed makes into or couch makes into a bed. I believe, okay, yep. This one, you remove this cushion. What I do is I just fold it up and set it aside. You're going to lift up on the front of the couch right here. Just lift up and pull right straight towards you. And then let it set down. Oops. This one has a flip out front leg. Sorry. The one I worked on the other day, the leg flipped out automatically when you did that. There's your seat belts. And then this section here folds down. And the gap between there is filled with these cushions. And just like that, it's a bed. To make it back into a couch, we remove the center cushions and fold them up. We flip the back up. We lift straight up on the front. Keep right on going. Flip this back. Set that down. Take the 2 cushions. And it's a couch again. Again, when you're sitting in the theater seat, you have light switches up there and TV up and TV down right here. TV down, puts the TV down. Pretty self-explanatory. They do recommend that you travel with the TV down. All right. We're going to go back here to our main monitor. First up is our inverter panel. Invert, inverter off. Charger, charger off. It says charger standby, and that light's blinking. Hit the switch again, turn it on. Power means we have 110 power coming in. Shore. If we go somewhere where we have low power, we can hit the shore and we can rotate this knob and turn that shore down to 5 amps. If you watch, I don't know how well you can see that. My charge status is dropping rapidly because it won't let the inverter use more than 5 amps. Okay? Hit the shore again, turn it back up. Do not go above 30. Push the button to select. AGS is auto gen start. AGS control, status, runtime, volts, set time. Important, make sure the time is correct here. It's not connected to anything else. If you're in the wrong time zone or completely wrong on the time and you use quiet time, you'll find you're off. AGS control, press the button. Off, enable, test, or enable with quiet time. Those are your options. You turn it to enable, press the button. The AGS will start the generator on low battery voltage. AGS status, runtime hour, all of that. Meter, let you look at the meter, press it again. You can look at the charge meters. You can look at the battery monitors, statuses, text, a lot of stuff you're not going to be interested in. Setup is already done for the coach, and tech is something that we use on our end. All right, touch to unlock. Hit the light thing, and you have all of your lights. You can turn them all on or off here. Some of the lights, like kitchen ceiling, are dimmable. I'm holding the button, it dims the light. Kitchen overhead, dimmable. Touch the button, it dims the light. Living room ceiling, dimmable. Touch the button, it dims the light. I don't know how much of that showed up on the video, but they are quite dim right now. Now, if I set my lights and they're all adjusted where I want, and I go to my master and I turn them off, when I hit the master and turn it back on, it saves my dimmer settings. If I hold the master, it overrides everything, turns all the lights on. The reason I point that out is you can set a bedroom scene for when you go to bed. Say, okay, I want the bedroom lights on dim, and I want the aisle lights on so I can see to walk in the floor, but I don't want the overhead lights on. Turn everything off, and then turn just those lights on the way you want them, and then hit the light master, and it will turn that off, and you get up in the middle of the night, you hit the master, it'll turn on just what you left off. If you get up and you need all the lights, hit the master hard, and override it, hold it. I don't mean by hit it hard, I mean hold it. So, that's in your lighting. Your monitors, right here. Hit monitor. That's there. Slide outs, right here. The ignition has to be on for the slide outs to work. Awnings, your door awning and your overhead. Now, the awning power has to be on. If it says awning power off, it won't work here, it won't work there. Awning power on. Now, over on the switches by the door that I showed you earlier, there is a awning power switch there. All right. Power management. We have a power control system. We can look at what we're hooked up to, what it's doing. is all right here. Our line voltages, our wiring status. We can check our loads. Tells us what service we're hooked to. If we were running the generator, it would say generator. Right now it says 50 amp. I probably can't read that. Auto gen start is also right here. So we can set our auto gen start right here as well. So what we do is hit AGS off. And then we're going to go into setup. Quiet time setup. We set our evening quiet time for 9 p.m. Morning setup. It's set for 8 a.m. We can change that if we want. Except quiet time. This is nice here because I can tell it to start the generator if my air conditioners need to run. Where's that handy? Well, you can camp out at Aunt Martha's on a little 15 amp extension cord, and the AC unit, if you want to run the air conditioner, it'll start the AC of the generator. DC start voltage is set at 11.7. Okay, 60-second pre-charge. Run time in hours, run time in minutes. All of that's adjustable here. The flame has your water pump, your tank heaters, entry step power, and your engine block heater. Can all be turned on right here. Thermometer, this is your HVAC. Okay, living room, heat or cool. Heat pump, furnace, auto, cool, off. All right, heat pump is your air conditioner running backwards to heat. Okay, furnace is your furnace. Auto is your system is in automatic mode. You set your high temp and your low temp. If you go above the high temp, it turns the AC on. If you go below the low temp, it turns the furnace on. Bedroom zone, we have cool and off. So the bedroom is air conditioning only. Okay. Fans, the rear bath fan and the half bath fan can be turned on from here. Okay, pretty well explained. All right, now there is an app called Precision Circuits. If you go on to the iTunes store or the Google Play Store, you can get that app. I think it's still free. There's so many of them I deal with now, I can't remember which one's which. As far as I remember, this one is still free. You put the app on your phone, you press the little gear, you turn the app on in your phone. Down here on the bottom it says wireless, you hit that, and number one, when you get this coach, you're going to do what I'm going to do right now. I just told it to forget everything that's been hooked to it, so you're going to start fresh. When your app is up and running on your phone, you're going to hit pair with mobile. And it's going to Bluetooth connect to your phone. You'll see the connection on your phone, accept it, and then the app, what will happen with the app is you'll come to this screen on the app, and there's a little green LED, and it'll probably be red to start with, and it might take it a minute, but there's a little green LED that'll come up in this corner, and after I do the dash, I'm going to grab my phone a minute, and I'll show you on my phone. So, real simple. I'm going to take a pause here, and then we're going to go do the dash, and then I'll do the phone. Okay, now I've had my phone hooked to a lot of them, so you might see a little different screen, but it's going to ask you at some point to pair with the RV. It says put RV in pairing mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the gear button, we're going to hit wireless, and we're going to hit pair with mobile. Once we do that, come on. There we go. Trying to communicate in pairing mode, trying to bond with RV. Going to see this stuff. Okay, my phone's being a bit picky. What I tried to tell you, see this little red? As soon as it's done bonding, that red will turn green. And then anything that most anything that the wall panel does, you can do from your phone. All right, we're gonna go up and go through the driver's section. Okay, sitting in the driver's seat. Your jacks require that the ignition be off. We hit the power button. And then if these red lights come on, hit retract. Those red lights are jacked down, but it only means that there is a pressure difference. The hydraulic system uses a pressure switch, and sometimes when you run the rooms in and out like we have, it'll drop the pressure on that side and it'll act like the jacks are down. Then we hit auto level. When we hit auto level, what it's going to do is it's going to put the jacks down part way, and then it's going to drop the coach by letting the air out of the air leveling system, and then it's going to continue and level the coach. Auto leveling is great. Auto leveling does everything auto wants it to do. That does not mean it's necessarily going to do exactly what you want, or is its idea of leveling yours going to be the same. While that's doing that, there's your transmission controller, reverse, neutral, drive, has up and down shift, and mode button. The mode button puts you in economy mode. You may or may not like it. I tell everybody to play with it. There's times it's nice, there's times it's a nuisance. Mirror switch. Okay? The switch in the center is for left, right, or off. This switch is for your heated mirrors. This is your parking brake release. You have to push this in to release the parking brake. You pull it out to set the brake. The transmission does not have park. Headlight switch. One click is markers. The next click is headlights. High and low beam are on your turn signal switch, and that requires that the ignition be on. Fog light, and then bright and dim here is your dash dimmer. You can dim the dash lights by pressing dim, and brighten them by pressing bright. Okay, we're done leveling. Dash thing says marker lights are on. Over here, they're wipers. Okay, you press this button to turn the wipers on. You put it up for faster, you kick it down for slower. Press this button for wash. Press this button again to turn it off. Kind of different, but it works well once you get used to it. Engine brakes. Engine brakes will slow you down. There are times they're great, there are times they're not. Times it's not allowed to have them. Play with it, see how you like it. Nightshade. Puts the nightshade down. Now when the ignition is on, it will not come all the way down. Sunshade. Sunshade is the same thing. The front ones are motorized, all the rest are manual. Auxiliary start. When I press this button, it connects all my batteries together for more starting power. I have a driver's side map light and a passenger side map light. I have a fan switch. Up is high, down is low, middle is off. That's for these fans over here. I have a horn switch. In one position, it's city, and the other position, it's air horn. I have a radio switch. The radio switch allows me to turn the radio on without having the ignition on. Okay? Generator start and stop, just like all the rest. If I press down and hold it, now we are priming the system. If I press up, it's preheat, and then it will start. And then here's the step cover switch, which I ran in and out earlier. Radio's just about woke up. There we go. With the radio, number one, underneath this thing where it says USB, push out. There's a USB and a mini 3.5. So you can hook up stuff there. Radio is touchscreen. Streaming, photo, radio. Some of this stuff requires your phone be hooked up. Settings. You can go into your settings. Network. It is Wi-Fi. So if you have Wi-Fi, you can connect with it. Personal is for your phone. Device is for your phone. System, all of that. Okay? Little back button down here. You have in-car, and then you have apps. Because it is basically an Android tablet with a radio attached to it. So if you're connected to the internet, you got your browser, calculator, you've got your Google, your maps, your mail, all of that stuff, Play Store, and stuff you can do. When you go to in-car, you have connections to the radio, Cirrus, streaming, video, photos, and then we go to, yep, there you have that. Cameras. There's your rear camera. There's your right turn camera. There's your left turn camera. Now they are all automatic. When you're driving down the road, if you hit the turn signal, the left turn or right turn will come on. You have a back button and a home button. Home takes you back to that same screen. Down here it looks like a little map. It's not installed. That will take you to your phone if you had it on. And what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the phones that are in here. So you start with fresh. Your device name is the Mag M10. So when you go to hook up your phone, that's what you're going to be looking for Bluetooth. Music. All right. Tilt wheel. Down here on the side of the steering column is a little foot pedal. Step on the foot pedal and hold it down, and you can tilt and telescope the wheel and let go of it where you want. Cruise control is on the turn signal. All right, center of the dash. When I turn the ignition on, the jacks are beeping in the background. You see the glow plug light just went out, and that. We start it up. Now, over here is a button. I can press that button to the left, to the right, up or down. Today's speed, hit it to the right, we can change what that is. We have different settings. Leg, same thing. We can look at time, fuel, economy, whatever you want. Total trip, we can look at different trip settings. Road speed, cruise speed, engine RPM, oil pressure, fuel economy. We can look at all kinds of stuff. Gear, when we get into the transmission, it just tells us what gear we're in or what our temperature is. That's it. Date and time. It's something you're going to need to learn to set, because if you shut the engine batteries off, you hold this to the right for 3 seconds, brings in that screen. We go to the right again, set time and date. It is 9. Oh, I got to look at my phone. I don't even know what day it is. Grab my phone a second. It's close by. All right, so it is 9:28. (2020). So we're just going to go to 20. And I'm just adjusting this up or down. And then go into the right to move to the next thing. And it is 4, so I'm going to bring it down to 4. And it is 53, so it's almost quitting time. Except for we got to work late tonight. And it is PM. And right now the fuel is set correctly. So there we go. Okay, the rest of it is dash heating and controls. Pretty simple. Again, want to thank you very much for doing business with TerryTown and Motorhomes to Go. We hope you enjoy your unit. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact your salesman or our service department. We'd be more than happy to try and help you out. Have a great day, and again, thank you for your purchase.